Welcome to another episode of Table Talk with the Mayor. My name is Greg Holden, I'm your host, and I'm sitting here with Mayor Randy Hope. Good morning, Randy.
Good morning, Greg. How are you doing today?
Very well, how are you?
Good, good.
Good. So the municipality has an increase in premiums for insurance costs. How are we going to handle this situation?
Well, I mean, first of all, it's since we have a new legal team on staff, we've been able to actually analyze our insurance issues. Yes, we see a rising cost of our insurance premiums, and we need to manage it better. The new legal team has developed a strategy on how we're going to make sure that we identify our caseloads and make sure that we're paying closer attention to the caseload instead of turning it over to somebody else to manage. We're actually going to take it in-house and start managing it better. When I use the word take it in-house is to keep a closer eye on it. We'll still probably use outside legal to support the litigation or to do the litigation. We're going to examine it for another year and then bring it back to council. We may need to consider looking. Currently we have a $100,000 deductible. We may look at increasing the $100,000 deductible and maybe up to $250,000 subject to council's approvals, and then which would lower our premium costs, but at the same time puts more control on us on litigation of these lawsuits that are coming against us, Trip and Falls and others. The other action plan which we're doing is those areas of that we've identified issues, we're actually now putting a mechanism in place or a safety standard inside of our organization that starts to address some of these concerns, so we eliminate some of these issues from happening. Between roads and sidewalks and trips and falls, it seems to be the major focus on a lot of this stuff. I mean, our other insurance dealing with auto and others is pretty standard, but it's those lawsuits that are coming to the municipality. We need to tighten up the reins on it. We need to make sure that it doesn't look like it's a free check coming from Chatham-Kent once one of these things happen. We got to change the image of Chatham-Kent and at the same time manage the case file better.
Obama was re-elected last night. Is Obama somebody that you would prefer over Romney in any way for Chatham-Kent?
Well, I was touting Obama. It's better to know who you're dealing with than not know who you're dealing with. Obama is, I mean, let's face it, Canada, Chatham-Kent especially, we do a lot of export in the United States. The Romney kind of scares you a bit because it deals with the whole issue of protectionism. And, you know, you'd sooner deal with who you know than who you don't know. And, you know, it was great to see. You know, 4 years is a difficult time. I mean, the unfortunate part with Obama is everybody called him the Messiah when he got elected 4 years ago. And then the problem is that he was faced with every issue that we're faced with. I mean, we were faced with the stock market crashing, the economy going in, the auto industry crashing. I mean, we had so much stuff thrown at us in such a short period of time. How does anybody turn it around? And I think the American public see that, I mean, subject to the state in which you were in. But I think the good part is that he's got 4 years to continue to execute his plan. I believe the Senate also changed quite a bit drastically too, so it could lead to more prosperity, not only for them, for us. I mean, we're always kind of tied together between the United States and Canada, and I think if they can flourish, we can flourish, and it's about trade exports. Our GDP is affected, and so I am glad that you know, it's somebody you know, not somebody you don't know, and I was always concerned about the protectionism viewpoint of Romney's.
Okay. And finally, we're talking in council the other night about $7.2 million for computers for the municipality. So is that a hard sell to the public for that much money for computers?
Well, let's bring it in perspective here. It's not computers, not the computer that everybody has that sits on their, you know, in their home or on their lap and work on it. That's not what this is about. This is about the hardware that goes inside of the computer systems. It's about the network of the infrastructure of our information system. You know, we've been trying to make major upgrades on our website and other things. We're trying to make sure that services are easier for payment of bills or just gathering information for our professionals. Well, our system that is inside there, the nuts and bolts, not the computer, the nuts and bolts of our system is ancient. I guess it would be a simple word. And it needs major upgrade in order to be compatible to what today's business environment is talking about. Everything from our payroll and HR stuff to services we provide in the broader community. The mechanism inside of that needs to be updated so badly in order so that things can be integrated, so that we can run more efficiently. I mean, companies across North America and across the world are making upgrades to their systems so that they can become more competitive. We need to do the same thing. So it's a hard pill to swallow because it's like a $7 million expenditure, and it's something you don't see. I mean, you can't see it. You can't. I mean, you can see a new building, an investment in a new building, or $7 million in something that's substance that's actually physically out there for the public to see. This is something that won't be seen, but it'll be felt when you use the computer systems in order to get quicker information, quicker data, find things easier, support services that are there. So it's the nuts and bolts of the computer system that needs a major overhaul because it's antiquated, ancient, and it's not functional.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for that. And
but you know, it's $7 million, and I mean,
it's hard to.
it's you know, we're sitting there. You're asking the question. Well, is there a way that we can source out some of this stuff? Do we have to make the investment? Do you have to do this? All those particulars have been analyzed, and if you outsource, it could be. I mean, just for the licensing is ridiculous in price. I'm going to say that it's ridiculous, but there's nothing else you can do. You're held almost hostage on some of this stuff.
Okay, some of that comes from the Municipal Services Act that you're required to get certain standard of software.
Well, you're required of certain standards of service, and that software is. I mean, people are asking us to reduce staff and do this. Well, if you don't update that, which means you're going to require more staffing to input and do different things. If you're actually linking the systems so that they can share information, like the highway of information inside those computers, and if you do that, then the more efficiencies come out. So it's not just a matter of $7 million in a computer. It's an infrastructure that'll make us more efficient, that'll make our working environments better, and support the services that we provide to the broader public. So it's hard, but it's one of those things. If you don't, you're going to pay the price down the road. If you do, you can start to flow the initiatives forward and find efficiencies thereafter.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for that.
Yeah.
And that's another episode of Table Talk with the Mayor, and thank you for watching. We'll see you again next week.